Lyle Yellowfin going around in the Class 2. Was good to see him produce a better performance last time out. Where do you feel he's at the moment?
Yeah, he obviously went through a little bit of dip in form, which for a horse like him was very unusual because he's carried such good form for so long. But yeah, he obviously reached quite a high mark and just taken a bit of time to get his confidence back after one or two bad runs. I thought last time he had a good trip and he took over and he was strong for a long time. So it was a very good run, showed that he's coming back to himself. And if he might not be there just yet, he's certainly on the right track again.
He's got 118 pounds from barrier 7. How do you feel about him back on the turf this weekend as well?
Yeah, well, he's obviously performed recently really well on the dirt, but early on his form was really strong on the turf. I'm thinking back to when he went hard in front and beat a horse like Taj Dragon, so he certainly can perform in it. It'll be, I think, his first time over a mile on the turf, obviously barring Happy Valley, but here at Charlton. And yeah, with a good run, holding the form he's starting to come into, he's always solid.
David Affordable certainly found some form in his last couple of starts, a win and a fourth. How's he come through that last run?
Yeah, his trial was very good. Keith Young rode him in the trial up at Chung Fa and he came from the back and ran on. A little bit of a tricky gate, but he's had that the last couple of runs, so he'll be ridden patiently and running home hard. What's
been the key to unlocking this horse's success, just getting down to a sort of a winnable rating for him?
Probably a combination of winnable rating and getting out to the staying trip. As we know, there's not too many distance races and it took a while to get him to the distance that he prefers.
Is this probably sort of about his level, or do you think he'd probably be competitive up in Class 3 with a lightweight potentially as well?
Let's hope so, but we'll get through the Class 4 first.
Lyle, lucky man for David Hayes. He looks like he's been gradually improving. Give us your take on his progression over his last few starts.
Yeah, he hasn't been the easiest horse and he's taken a bit of time. He had a terrible tendency to hang in and he sort of wasn't putting it in the races. But a few little gear changes and just taking the time with him, he's started to improve every single time he stepped out. And he hasn't been the most fortunate with barriers, so to get barrier 1 this time certainly will help, will mean we're not having to come from so far back, and I think that he will continue his improvement and hopefully he can do a bit more.
Does that mean you can sort of maybe be 3 back the fence or possibly even closer with him if that was to suit his style?
Yeah, I certainly think so. He jumps quick enough and he travels well enough to hold a position. We just feel like he's not a horse you want to get revved up in the beginning, so from wide draws we didn't take that opportunity, but from draw 1 we'd be able to, like you say, if there's not much speed, we're happy just to follow 1. If the pace is genuine, 3 back the fence would be a good spot too.
He's off a rating of 42, so he is close to that class drop, but does he give you the opinion that he is a horse that's more than capable in Class 4, maybe beyond as well?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure about beyond, but certainly the way he's been running and the way he's been having to overcome obstacles in his races and performing, you would think that 42 is a mark that he should certainly be able to get up from. I don't think he's a Class 5 horse. The reason he's dropped to this sort of mark is because of his racing habits, but like I said, he's getting a lot better and he should be more than a 42, I think.
Ariel running around on the all-weather, it was a terrific win from him last start, rewarding some patient owners.
Yes, look, this season he's been quite quiet. He's been a consistent horse in Hong Kong for 2 seasons, so I'm hoping he can hold that form. He's got a good gait and he's proven on the dirt, so and still in the class, so he's got a few boxes he's ticked.
Obviously the claim with Alice Wong, a big positive as well.
Yeah, he won on him, so the impost of the penalty and the non-claim would have been too much, I think, but with the claim he's quite attractive.
Quickly, how's Kaying Rising pulled up from his great win the other week?
Yeah, he's an amazing horse. He's eaten the feed the morning after and he's back out on the track like nothing happened, so onwards and upwards, we're heading towards the 1400 Group 1.
Full credit the 1200 for Mark Newnham, middle of the line draw with 127 pounds. It looks to be maybe some alternate pace in the race this week. What do you look to maybe do from the draw? Because we know Superb Capitalist can charge forward.
Yeah, quite happy to see that actually. Last time from a wide gate, we went forward and because of jumping so well, I decided to continue going and then just got a few carried on kicking up. So, you know, he got a lot of pressure and was there for a long time still, and I thought it was an honest effort. But we saw on the dirt his last 2 starts, he tracked 1 or 2 and finished off strongly. So it gives us that option. Superb Capitalist can be a bit hit and miss out the gates. So, you know, we'll jump positive, probably be rolling forward, but then have that option to sit in behind 1 or 2 if we decide so.
He's always looked to have plenty of ability. Do you think he's still got a few rating points in hand?
I think this might be the mark he's at the moment, but competitive off it. As I said, I thought last time was a good run, all things considered. So, you know, with a perfect trip, this mark should be okay for him still.
Mark, Crimson Flash, he's come out of Australia with a win at Wyong prior to arriving. How's he settled in?
Yeah, really easily actually. Been very straightforward. He's had a couple of trials. Usually I go 3 trials before their first run, but you know, opportunity to give him a run down the straight in this grade looked, you know, a good starting point for him.
He ran on a slow track, what was described as a rain-affected track over in Wyong prior to arriving. No concerns with a firmer surface this weekend?
No, not at all. You know, his trials here have been good. His trial at Happy Valley on firm ground was good. Track at Wyong that day, it was only just the edge off it. One thing he's been able to do in each of his trials prior to coming here and his races run time. So he's quite a talented horse, but you know, he's coming here in against Class 3, a horse that's only had 1 start.
Luke Ferraris riding as he has done in the trials. What's Luke's feedback been on his efforts?
Yeah, naturally quick horse. You know, he's got a good mind for it, so it'd be interesting to see how he just handles those more experienced, fast horses. You know, he's not a horse that has a lot of change of speed. He just uses, you know, momentum. But you know, it's a very quick race, and you know, they tend to run hard and fast and straight, those experienced types. So he's going to find it, you know, a little bit difficult through probably the middle stages, but I expect to be pretty strong late.
Talent's Ambition going around in the last on the all-weather over the 1650. Not probably the barrier draw you were looking for.
No, well, I mean, he's a get-back horse anyway, but it just means you're back to last, unfortunately, and he's got to carry the 135. You know, if he draws in, he might lob midfield, but look, that dictates to where we're going to be, and you know, the result will probably be determined by the speed of the race.
He's amongst the priority to run horses for the Classic Mile on Friday, safely through the weekend. That's the big target.
Oh, absolutely. Look, he's a perfect backup horse. He does really well. He's a horse that you know, never leaves any feed. Big, strong horse now. He's a lot more mature than he was last season. And, you know, it's about time we did get him back on the turf. It's just that he's had some suitable races for him on the all-weather. But he showed last season, his last run, he only just got beaten over a mile on the turf, and he was quite a big, tall, angular, immature 3-year-old then. So he's going a lot better at this stage.
You've been happy with his runs this season so far on the all-weather?
Yeah, he's been really consistent. He does everything very consistently. I ride him quite a bit of work, and he's just a lovely, easy horse to ride and do anything with. So, you know, he's the ideal Hong Kong style horse.